Good morning, children. How are you all? Hope you all are safe at home. Children, in the last Zoom session, we had discussed till heating curve for water. Okay, children. Now today we will discuss change in volume on boiling. Whenever we boil any liquid or any substance, what happens with its volume? See, children, all liquids expand on boiling. For example, when we have 1 centimeter cube of water at 100 degrees Celsius becomes 1760 centimeter cube of steam at 100 degree Celsius. That means whenever the water starts boiling at 100 degrees Celsius, so at 100 degrees Celsius, when water is in the form of liquid, its volume was 1 centimeter cube. But when it changes to steam, its volume increases and it becomes to 1760 centimeter cube. So all liquids expand on boiling. Okay, children. Now the next topic is effect of pressure on the boiling point. What is the effect of pressure on the boiling point? Whenever we increase the pressure, the boiling point of a liquid increases with increase in pressure, and boiling point of a liquid decreases with the decrease in pressure. For example, you may take example of pressure cooker, children. It's a good example to understand. In a pressure cooker, what happens? Steam is not allowed to escape out. The vapor pressure on water inside the pressure becomes nearly 1.7 times the atmospheric pressure. Since the steam is not allowed to go out, so what happens? The pressure on the water, it becomes how much times more? 1.75 times more than the actual atmospheric pressure. So water boils in it at about 120 degrees Celsius to 125 degrees Celsius. Instead of boiling water at 100 degrees Celsius, now the water inside the pressure cooker, the water boils at 120 degrees Celsius to 125 degrees Celsius due to increase in pressure. That's why this is the main reason for cooking of vegetables, etc. It becomes much easier and faster in pressure cooker. Why? Because they get sufficient heat energy before the water boils. The boiling point of water increases and the vegetables or the pulses get more heat before the water actually starts boiling. Okay, children. Whereas when you go to high altitudes such as hills and mountains, the atmospheric pressure becomes low. Therefore, at these places, water boils before 100 degrees Celsius. It boils at 80 degrees Celsius or 85 degrees Celsius. So, what happens? Due to which it does not provide the required heat energy to its content for cooking. Thus, cooking there becomes very difficult. On high altitudes, cooking becomes very, very difficult. It takes a long time, even in the pressure cooker. What happens? Why? Because if in this, the at these places water boils at a temperature lower than 100 degrees Celsius and the food does not get enough heat energy to cook. Okay, now the next topic is effect of impurities on the boiling point. What are the effects of impurity on the boiling point? Again, when we increase the impurity, what happens? The boiling point of a liquid increases. For example, if you take, you must have seen your mothers when they cook any pulses, solid pulses like rajma or they chickpea. What they are doing, they before boiling these pulses, they are adding salt to it. They are adding salt to it, due to which what happens, children? The water then provides sufficient heat energy to its content before boiling. Instead of boiling at 100 degrees Celsius, now by putting the impurities, now the water boils at more than 100 degree Celsius and the pulses cooked very easily and fastly. Okay, now the next topic is latent heat and specific latent heat. Children, this is very important topic. Latent heat and specific latent heat. What is that? See, heat energy. What happens, children? See, we have read that during the change of phase, whenever there is a change of phase or change of matter of a substance which takes place at a constant temperature, change of phase always takes place at a constant temperature, but a considerable amount of heat energy is either liberated or absorbed by that matter when there is a change of phase. Okay, so heat energy is absorbed by a solid during melting and an equal amount of heat energy is liberated by the liquid during freezing without showing any change in the temperature. Okay, that's when there is no change in the temperature, but there is a liberation or the absorption of heat during a change of phase, and it is not externally manifested. It is not externally shown by any rise or fall in temperature. There is no change in the temperature, but what happens, there is a change of phase because of the heat energy absorption or the liberation. That heat is known as latent heat. That's why latent heat is also known as hidden heat, because it is not externally manifested or externally shown. Okay, so it is known as latent heat. What is specific latent heat? When latent heat, when expressed for unit mass, okay, when latent heat expressed for a unit mass, it is called specific latent heat. It is called what? Specific latent heat, and it is represented by capital L. See on the next board. Okay, see, latent heat when expressed for unit mass of a substance, it is called the specific latent heat, which is expressed by capital L. So the capital formula is, specific latent heat formula is heat absorbed or liberated during the change of phase divided by mass. Okay, when it is expressed for a unit mass, it is known as specific latent heat. So L equals Q by M. Since heat absorbed or liberated during change of phase is represented by Q, so L equals to Q by M, or we can write Q equals to L into M. Heat absorbed or liberated is equals to specific latent heat multiplied by the mass. Now let's go to the SI unit of specific latent heat. What is that? Since heat absorbed or liberated is represented by joule and mass is kilogram, so the SI unit of specific latent heat is joule per kilogram. Other common units are also calorie per gram or kilocalorie per kilogram. Okay, their relationship is given in the book on page number 274. Please see to that. Now next topic, children. Specific latent heat of fusion of ice. What is specific latent heat of fusion of ice? The specific latent heat of fusion of ice is the heat energy absorbed when ice melts or fusion takes place. Heat energy is absorbed, no? So the specific latent heat of fusion of ice is the heat energy required to melt unit mass of ice at 0 degree Celsius to water at 0 degree Celsius. There is no change in the temperature without any change in its temperature. Likewise, specific latent heat of freezing is called what? Specific latent heat of freezing ice is the heat energy released when ice is the heat energy released when a unit mass of water at 0 degree Celsius freezes to ice at 0 degree Celsius without any change in the temperature. That is called specific latent heat of fusion of ice and the specific latent heat of freezing of ice. Okay, children. Now, children, there are some natural consequences of high specific latent heat of fusion of ice. Kindly read them. Okay, children, because these are all the phenomena which you see in your nature surroundings. Okay, so first you can see snow on mountains does not melt all at once. Exactly, whatever the snows are on the mountains, they does not melt all at once. If they melt all at once, what will happen? There will be floods. But it does not happen. What is the reason behind it? The reason is that ice has a high specific latent heat of fusion. It has a high specific latent heat of fusion means what? It requires a high amount of heat energy to get converted into water at 0 degree Celsius. So it is due to this fact that it changes into water slowly as it gets heat from the sun. If latent heat would have been low, all the snow would have melted in a short time on getting heat from the sun, and there would have been flood in all the rivers. Okay, children. Now second example is what, children? In cold countries, water in lakes and ponds does not freeze all at once. Yeah, wherever there are cold countries, water in lakes and ponds does not freeze all at once. What is the reason behind it? Now the reason is the specific latent heat of fusion of ice. Okay, is sufficiently high. The water in lakes and ponds will have to liberate a large quantity of heat to the surroundings before freezing. Whenever water has to freeze, what happens? The water has to liberate heat energy, no? So before freezing, the water has to liberate a... Yes. So the reason is that the specific latent heat of fusion of ice is sufficiently high. Before freezing, the water takes a large amount of heat to the surroundings before freezing into ice. So the layer of ice formed over the water surface, being a poor conductor of heat, will also prevent the loss of heat from the water of lake. Hence, it does not freeze all at once. It takes time for the water bodies in cold countries to freeze. It does not freeze all at once. Now third is like you have seen it, because this is that drinks get cooled more quickly by adding pieces of ice than the ice cold water at 0 degree Celsius. You must have seen, if you are making a sharbat or something, then what you are adding, you are preferring adding ice cubes than adding cold water. if you take cold water at 0 degree Celsius or you take ice at 0 degree Celsius, but their cooling effect will be different. Ice will cool more than, will be giving more cooling effect than the cold water. Why? Because this is because the 1 gram of ice at 0 degree Celsius takes 336 joule of heat energy from the drink to melt into water at 0 degree Celsius. Thus the drink liberates an additional 336 joule of heat energy to 1 gram of ice at 0 degree Celsius, then to 1 gram ice cold water at 0 degree Celsius. Because why? Because ice has again high specific latent heat of fusion. It is taking a large amount of heat and it is absorbing a large amount of heat energy before melting into water. So when we add a piece of ice cube, then that piece of ice cube will take a large amount of heat, absorb a large amount of heat before converting or before melting into water. That's then this is the reason why adding ice cubes is preferable than adding ice cold water if both are at 0 degree Celsius. Okay, likewise children, we have more natural consequences of these high specific latent heat of fusion of ice. Another one is that when ice is in a frozen lake starts melting, its surrounding becomes very cold. Why? When ice is in a frozen lake, it starts melting. Why its surroundings becomes very cold? Because when the ice melts, fuse, it takes a large amount of heat from the surrounding. If it is taking a large amount of heat from the surrounding, what will happen? All the heat will get used up in fusion of ice, and ultimately the surroundings will become cooler. Likewise, we have fifth consequences also. You just read it out and learn these examples, these consequences, because many times a question of 2 mark will come from these consequences. See children, I have completed this chapter number 11, calorimetry. Now it's your work to read out it, understand this chapter well, and do all the solved examples and unsolved examples, and do all the question answers which are given in the exercises. Children, it's your work. You are matured enough to do all this. Okay, now in the next Zoom session on Friday, I will ask your doubts. If you will ask me doubts, I will clear. Otherwise, I'll proceed to next chapter. Okay children, so till then next Friday you just read the chapter, do examples, solve unsolved numericals, and ask doubts. Okay children, I hope you all will do. Thank you.